I have my phone here, Jeff. There is a message I would love you to read. Then I'll explain that message. This message was sent to my daughter, Sally, on the 2nd of June.
Wewe ujichunge sana hiyo mdomo yako, na ukishindwa tutakuonyesha kuizima. Sisi hatuogopi hata kidogo.
On 1st of June,
juzi,
this month's June, my daughter Sally was on Riara Road with a boyfriend, an American. They were going for tea at the junction. A motorcycle came with 2 people and passed them. Then stopped and waited for them. I think the passing was to do cognizance.
Right.
When they arrived where the people were with the motorbike, somebody pulls out a gun and asks the American boy to give a computer the boy was holding. The young man asked why. They turned the gun and pointed at my daughter. He then moved in and pushed my daughter out of the way of the barrel of the gun. They turned on this young man and just shot him.
This American boy?
The American boy that died on Riara Road. And then I received a phone call from my daughter. There's too much blood, Dad, and too much white mess, and I did not understand what he's talking about. So fortunately, the nurse took the phone from her and explained to me that the friend had just been shot. The young man eventually died. But what really disturbs me, one is the trauma the young girl is going through. She's in America right now, South Carolina. She went to bury the boyfriend. She hasn't come back. But what then disturbed me most is when she received this message, which she forwarded to me. My daughter is not in politics.
No.
So why is she supposed to keep quiet?
Mdomo yako, who is that?
That message was actually meant for me. Now, this was meant to us. I was discussing the same issue with a friend of mine over a cup of tea. He is a politician, very supportive of my ideas, supportive of Wetangula's ideas, because we work together. His name is Jack Wamboka. And he showed me exactly the same message from a different phone number sent to him on 9th of April. And that's what I'm saying. Has assassinations crept back? And if you look, the explanations, as I had explained to you, after the young man was shot, a few days later, a famous criminal by the name Ford was shot somewhere in Dagoret Corner. And the police explanation is he actually shot somebody, an American, on Riara Road and maimed a Chinese. The normal anatomy of explaining assassinations.
Yes.
And I took time, went and talked to a friend of mine. I will not mention his name. He's a senior CID officer. Just to complain about what is going on, and that my feeling that I might be actually a target for assassination. And we discussed it in detail. And if you listen to his explanations, and he was quite sincere. He told me, prisoners have been sending out a lot of messages. So the issues of messages, Cyrus, I'm tired, I've had so many of them, but they are normally sent out by prisoners. I would expect a prisoner to send out a message of M-Pesa me some money.
Correct.
Or a con to get some money.
Correct. Yes.
I wouldn't expect
to be warning you,
to be issuing
threats,
a warning and threats that somebody should keep quiet. And you can see the death of Ford really fitting the anatomy of assassinations in Kenya. And that's why, as much as I say, Kuria Moses, his statement, as I looked at it, was expression of his feelings, which you can't stop. But the dangerous thing in that statement, and that is what we must look at, is insinuations that political disputes can be settled through assassinations. That was the dangerous part of it. And if you look at the most basic probability that a prisoner would send a message and it ends up with my daughter after the boyfriend was murdered yesterday, I mean, the chances are nil.
Slim to none, yeah.
Yeah.
Nil almost.
They are nil. By the way, the same officer, I hold him in high esteem. He even had the courtesy, called me today and said, you know, we don't know what we'll do with motorcycle crimes. Exactly what happened to your daughter happened to a student today in Kayole. Today. But the only difference with what happened in Kayole, I would want to know whether the girl will receive a political message
the next day.
And also whether the parent is a politician.
So are you worried? Bottom line, are you worried?
Jeff, you cannot be quite comfortable in situations like this. And we have had Muchai being assassinated. We've had Juma the other day being assassinated. And we've seen historically assassinations taking place, even at the time of Ouko, where there was an issue with the molasses plant, a white-collar economic crime, him fighting over it, raising it, he's murdered, an introduction of some Swiss lady, Brenna, is brought in, and Dominica Iragi, and in the process, Oyugi is arrested, who happened to have been a friend of mine, and that he's in the cells. He wakes up, he's bleeding on his hand, and the people are walking out, meaning he had just been injected. He dies, and it becomes an explanation for his murder. Just as the criminals at the Nyayo Stadium were used to explain the assassination of Juma. Ford is being used to try and lower our guard by saying, you know, the criminal who did this on those roads. So really, we have to be worried with the creeping back of political assassinations purposely to either kill information on white-collar economic crimes or silence opponents.